tend to work seasonally in my art, so right now I'm really excited for fall. Fall is my favorite season. It's my birthday, Halloween of course, the leaves changing. So right now I'm doing a lot of things with crows on wires, leaf skeletons. There's lots of leaves, just fall things. In the winter season, I just tend to go on long walks and I get inspired by whatever's outside. So I see a lot of icicles and I try to basically gather things or take a lot of photos on my walks. And then when I get back into the studio, I basically try to recreate it out of metal or glass or whatever I'm working on that day. I always knew I was going to be an artist. Like, there wasn't a question. There wasn't like, oh, maybe I should study nursing. Nothing else seemed to make sense. Not that art is a path that makes any sense, but I just knew it would be an artist in some way. In my head, artist meant a perfect renderer or a painter. That was art, clearly. And so even when I went to Seattle Central, all the classes were painting and drawing. And I'm like, okay, I'm on the right path finally. I'm actually going to put some effort into it. And I was like, ooh, something's still kind of missing. Like, this isn't what I'm supposed to be doing, but I like doing it. And it wasn't until I took my first metals class that I was like, okay, this is art. This is it. And this is what I'm going to do. Like, it was a 3-day workshop and it was at the end of the first day. I was like, found it, finally. So it was basically, this is how you can saw metal. This is how you can take a big sheet of metal and make it into something small you can work with. Stamping, mark making, texturing. I believe we might have learned soldering too. As an artist, there is a business component that you tend not to think about. You're like, no, I'm going to be an artist. Somebody will probably sell things for me and handle it. But that's not the way it is if you want to do it. I probably started posting what I was making in school, and then somebody would be like, I love that. You know, how can I buy that from you? And that was the first time in my art career that like real money was being exchanged. Like, I'm like, okay, I don't know, let me figure this out. And then with the advent of Etsy, it was like, okay, I'll take photos, I'll make a listing, people can buy things. And then I was like, is this a business yet? It's tricky because all of a sudden when you have a business, you're not so much an artist quite anymore. Now you're a business owner. So now there's that whole component of doing taxes and getting your work out there and social media and marketing yourself. And so it's always kind of been this tug of war balance with me of like, no, I'm just making art, I'm making art. But the studio didn't build itself. Like, you have to make money from it. So in my head, it was like, okay, the more money I spend to buy art supplies, then I can sell it for much more, buy more supplies. Started paying for itself, which was good. And then it started paying for more things, which was better. And I work a full-time job now, and I matched what I made that last year. And then this year I doubled it. I've been really lucky that my friends are really supportive. My husband's amazing. He's an artist as well. And when I started down the journey, you know, for Christmas and my birthday, I didn't get traditional gifts. I got my first kiln from my husband for Christmas one year because that's what I asked for. I would get gift certificates to Danica Design where I could buy tools. There is a life coach that I listen to. Her name is Tiffany Hahn, and she has a podcast and a blog, and she started this thing called 100 Rejection Letters. The idea is you start at the beginning of the year, whatever your year is going to be, and you try to get those rejection letters, because for every rejection letter, you're putting yourself out there to do different things. And for every one you get, you're probably going to get a couple yeses along the way. And with me, I was like, okay, I can do this. There's so much out there to do. So last year we did a great show, the West Seattle Street Fair show. It was amazing. It was better than probably our whole winter put together one year. Like the very first winter year, I set a money goal and I'm like, this is what I'd like to make. I doubled it, and we did that at one show last year. So I do all the street fairs. They're fun. I've been growing my wholesale because even though we do love doing the weekend shows, one day I'll be too old and it'll hurt, so I don't want to do that all the time. But we have things, jewelry at the Chihuly Garden and Glass at the Seattle Center. We have things at the Handmade Showroom in Pacific Place, Sassafras, downtown Seattle, probably about 17 stores right now. I'm actually meeting with the Tacoma Museum of Glass tomorrow to get some things in there.